Greetings again, fellow Earthlings. I just come with another card trick. This was inspired by 673rd King Street. I saw the trick performed yesterday by Miss Mag 822, and I thought that it was a pretty cool trick. So I decided, hey, that's a pretty cool trick. I'm gonna make one kind of like it, because that one's pretty lengthy. Throughout the entire trick, he is constantly shuffling and maneuvering the cards, so I'll try to do that as well. What I'm going to do is tell you guys a story, much like 673rd King Street. This story starts off with the King and Queen of Spades. The King and Queen of Spades both loved children, and since they were a king and a queen, they could very well care for those children. But there was a problem with what they loved. The queen was barren; she couldn't have kids. So they decided that they were going to go to their friends for some help. So they go to the King and Queen of Diamonds. The King and Queen of Diamonds were very good friends of the King and Queen of Spades. The King and Queen of Spades knew the King and Queen of Diamonds' parents. The King and Queen of Diamonds were both very young, and they had a child on their hands. The Jack of Diamonds, his name was Jack. They didn't feel that they were proper to care for the Jack of Diamonds since he was a newborn. So they said, we'll put him up for adoption for you guys. The King and Queen of Spades adopted the Jack of Diamonds. The King and Queen of Spades were then left out of this conversation. But that's not the end of my story. As you know, many people, once they have one, they want to have two, which was the case with the King and Queen of Spades. They decided that they needed another child for Jack to play with. So they go to their longtime friends, the King and Queen of Clubs. The King and Queen of Clubs were also kind of young, not as young, as the King and Queen of Diamonds, but still pretty young. They had a child named the Joker. Actually, he was a joker. They decided that they weren't really responsible enough to care for a joker like this, so they put him up for adoption as well. The King and Queen of Spades would have loved him, except the King had one condition. He asked the Joker, "Son, do you know what math is like?" The Joker says, "Yes, sir. I take basic arithmetic because of my parents' station." "Well, I want you to solve this math problem. What is 4 plus 6? The Joker stared long and hard at this problem. He stared and stared and stared. He didn't know what the answer was. He tried mental math, everything. He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it on his calculator. He didn't know what a calculator was. He was in the kindergarten. What was he going to do? He decided he was going to use a little bit of a cheat. He thought, I may not know much, but if I deal out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 cards, I think I might get the answer." The King applauded the Joker because he got this math problem right at such a young age, and they all lived happily ever after. If you guys would like a tutorial for that video, you might not need it if you are a more advanced magician, but it's still a pretty good trick. Involves basic sleight of hand and stuff like that. Just comment below or PM me or whatever, and I'll get back to you guys on it.